الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا سيد الأنام وصفوة الأنبياء الكرام المحمود الأحمد أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، لا سيما بقية الله الأعظم وحجته على العالمين الحجة ابن الحسن صلوات الله عليه، واللعن على أعدائهم أبد الآبدين ودهر الداهرين. Imam Ali alayhi salam, the commander of the faithful, says, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّهُ مَا مِنْ طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ شَيْءٌ إِلَّا يَأْتِي فِي كُرْهٍ. To hasten the reappearance of our beloved Imam al-Imam al-Mahdi, please recite aloud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So, of course, the history shouldn't get repeated. In other words, we have to be ready for the reappearance of our Imam, al-Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, that if he comes back, human being in general will follow him and he can succeed in his mission. Because he's the last successor of Allah. And through him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will manifest too many of his verses, such as when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَنُمَكِّنُ لَهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَنُرِي فِرْعَوْنَ وَهَامَانَ مِنْهُ. So Allah says, أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ, that the earth will be inherited by his decent slaves, decent servants. So let's say that Imam alayhi salam comes before everyone, or the earth is ready for his reappearance. What's going to happen? Al-Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam is not better than Imam Ali alayhi salam, the commander of the faithfuls, or Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. So it's not that he is better, rather we have to learn from history. Let me give you an example for that. When Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam entered Kufa and he was captured as prisoner, some Kufians came to him. Of course, they were crying and weeping, observing and watching the head of Imam al-Hussein and his tribe and his companions on spears. Imam alayhi salam told them, okay, you crying for us? Then who killed us? This is the first thing. The second thing, they said, now would like to help you, would like to revolt, would like to be with you, would like to fight against Muawiyah. Imam alayhi salam replied to them, no, it's too late now. It's too late. Do you want to deceive me as you deceived my father and my grandfather? Of course, Imam al-Hussein knew very well that they won't be his help. The commander of the faithfuls alayhi salam also knew that very well. Not all Kufians will be good people. Yes, he praised some of them, and actually in one of his sermons he says that those who were killed fighting Muawiyah, now they're comfortable. They don't have to see all of these fitans, all of these distractions and etc. But Imam alayhi salam meant that test finished and now it's a new test. And Imam alayhi salam told him, I just want something, one thing actually of you. La lana wa la alayna. We don't need your help. Just don't be against us. As simple as that. Sit back in your homes. Sit back in your homes. And that won't happen for Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. So when Imam reappears, everyone should be ready. Imam alayhi salam won't come one time and try, give it a try, and then go again in the era of occultation and then reappears again. No. And that's why now it's our turn. We have to try. We have to behave ourselves. We have to learn from history. We have to learn from the history of Ali ibn Abi Talib, from the history of Imam al-Hussein. We have to take those lessons and apply them on our lives. And if we do so, of course we will be able to prepare for his reappearance. You might say, okay, you're talking where? In Australia, where? In Melbourne, where? In a Husayniyat al-Imam al-Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam, for a few people, 100 people, 200 people, more or less. Do you think that might change anything? No, of course. Millions should be behaved, disciplined, I understand. But we have to start from somewhere. We have to talk as our scholars talked. Until now they are talking. We have to try our best. If you can discipline yourself, a single person, Imam alayhi salam will be closer to start his mission with having one single person added to his companions. It's a lot. You've heard the story, probably I've mentioned that. Yeah, in Masjid al-Beth alayhi salam, that Imam Ali alayhi salam was waiting for Uwais al-Qarani, a single person, to come and pay allegiance to him. That's important. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Ashura was waiting for a single person called Habib ibn Madahir. He actually reserved a flag for him, reserved a tent for him. When they asked Imam alayhi salam, this flag, why are you just keeping out this flag, not giving it to anyone? He said, no, this is for someone. Who? He will come eventually. That was Habib ibn Mudahir. And he was able to reach Karbala. So a single person can be a help a lot. So we have to learn. And we have to learn from Nahj al-Balagha. We have to learn from Imam Ali alayhi salam. Because Imam Ali was 25 years in his house. And then he ruled. And when he ruled, the politics that he used, the law that he used, and how he applied Quranic teachings in his government is very important, because it's going to be Imam Mahdi alayhi salam will rule exactly like Imam Ali alayhi salam. Exactly like Imam Ali. So this is the importance of us understanding the lessons of Nahj al-Balagha and taking the lesson of the commander of the faithfuls. It's not something that we can know and we can avoid. It's not something that we can avoid knowing that, because we are living in the era of Imam Zaman alayhi salam. We need to do something. Enough is enough. So Imam Ali alayhi salam says, and of course, he brings too many teachings in Nahj al-Balagha. I don't know if I can say that 1 million teachings has been mentioned in Nahj al-Balagha. I'm not exaggerating. 1 million. At least. 1 million. It's a lot. Yes, a lot. Every single word of Nahj al-Balagha contains a knowledge, has a message. We have to learn those messages. And don't put Nahj al-Balagha away because it's hard to understand. No. Yes, the phrases are hard to understand, but when you get it, you see how beautiful it is. Yes, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, when they talk with coherence, they talk with height that we cannot sometimes understand, but when we get the message is very clear and very beautiful. Like Quran, to understand Quran, to interpret Quran is very hard, but when you get the message, it's something easy to digest, easy to accept. It's not hard. Only wording is hard because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking. And now Imam Ali alayhi salam is talking. We have to be able to understand that this talking is not coming out of a normal person. No. Rather, he is the successor of the Prophet and the successor of Almighty God. So, Imam alayhi salam disciplines his companions and disciplines those who want to learn the lessons of Nahj al-Balagha. When he comes and says that to be able to be with Imam, to follow his footsteps, to do as he says, you have to fight your desires. And this is important, brothers and sisters. Very important point that Imam Ali alayhi salam bringing to us. That you have to fight your desires. Even if you can't distinguish between what is good and what is bad, what is evil and what is, good that you have to do. Imam alayhi salam gave us an equation that if we use that equation, we can easily understand what is right and what is wrong. And what is the equation that Imam alayhi salam brought to us? He says, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّهُ مَا مِن طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ شَيْءٌ إِلَّا يَأْتِي فِي كُرْهٍ وَمَا مِن مَعْصِيَةِ اللَّهِ شَيْءٌ إِلَّا يَأْتِي فِي شَهْوَةٍ. So, do you want to know what is correct, what is appropriate to do, what is right? See yourself. Do you like it? Or you see that your desire is not that comfortable with it? Have you seen some people saying that, yes, I know I have to pray on time, but I'm not that comfortable with this. Jurisprudence law. What do you mean you're not that comfortable? What do you mean? Do you think that you can sit back in your home and think about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delivers his verdicts and then you can understand? No, it's impossible. Can you sit back in your home without going to university, without studying, and just sit in your home without any equipment and just think about how you can cure cancers? Of course not. You've seen some videos and clips. Some people come and say that, okay, eat figs and all cancer will fade away. It doesn't work like that. It's not like that. This is a joke, man. This is a joke. Okay, drink 3 glasses of water and you can get every day for 40 days and you can get rid of the brain cancer. Do you think that's right? No, I've done that with 40 people and it worked. It didn't work. Nothing was wrong with them. They only had some normal headache. You had an assumption that you're curing a cancer, brain cancer. No, nothing was wrong with them. Maybe they were dehydrated, you gave them water, everything is okay. So this is the thing. Imam Ali alayhi salam says that see your desires. When your desires wants to drag you to a place, go the other direction. To a direction, go to other. So put your desires as what? As a GPS. Sahla Ahmed. Exactly. As a GPS. Put your desire. And if the desire says go left, go right. If it says go straight, go back. This is the compass that Imam Ali is providing to us. And it's important. So we have a compass in ourselves. Is within us, with us, always. We have 2 valuable things. The first thing is the wisdom. The second thing is the knowledge that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam gave us. And with the combination of these 2 valuable things, we can understand the way. But sometimes this is tricky, This is tricky. If you have an enemy that really wants to take you down. It's vicious competition between you and his company, for instance. And he comes to you and tells you, okay, I'll teach you how to make more profit this year. And he gives you your advice. He gives you his advice. What are you going to do? You're going to go the other direction. You have to do. If you're smart, you have to do. Why? Because he's your enemy. Your desires are your enemies. So be careful. This is what Imam Ali is proposing to us. Giving us the campus that you have to do the opposite thing of what your desire says. And then he says, Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, فَرَحِمَ اللَّهُ إِمْرَأً نَزَعَ عَنْ شَهْوَتِهِ وَقَمْعَ هَوَى نَفْسِهِ. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless someone who tries to get out of his desires. Just run away of his desires. This is important. قَمْعَ, take out his desires, as someone takes out tumors of his body. Rahimallah, may God bless him. In other words, Allah subhanahu, if someone succeeds in that, that's it. Let me give you a small example to understand how we should prepare ourselves for Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. What was the most fatal mistake of Umar ibn Sa'd? The most fatal mistake of Umar ibn Sa'd wasn't simply killing Imam al-Hussein. When he was told that, okay, if you go and kill Hussein alayhi salam, Sayyid al-Shuhada ruhi lahu al-fida, we will give you Ray. You can rule Ray, the city called Ray, Tehran. Now, he said, okay, I'll think about it. This was the fatal mistake that he committed and did. You see, when Abu Fadl Abbas was told, okay, we won't kill you if you just leave the army of Hussein. Now, Abu Fadl Abbas said, لَعَنَكَ اللَّهُ وَلَعَنَ أَمَانَكَ. Straight away, may God curse you and curse your office. So the fatal mistake by Umar ibn Sa'd, he didn't have any fundamental problem with Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to be honest. Umar ibn Sa'd did not have any fundamental problem with Imam Hussein. Rather, he wanted Mulk al-Ray. And alhamdulillah, he didn't get Mulk al-Ray. And now somebody's laying down a Ray called Sayyid Abdul Azim al-Hassani. And if you visit this person, you will gain the thawab as if you visit Imam al-Hussein. So he who owns Ray and Tehran, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. So Umar ibn Sa'd lost the battle the second that he said, I will think about it. No, you're not thinking. You're trying to justify that for yourself. Okay? And this is the problem. So the most important teaching of preparing and getting the foundation and building the foundation to build the building on that foundation for us as a human being, for us as slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is to understand who is our enemy, and our enemy is ourselves, desires. Of course, Ahlul Bayt alayhi, Imam Ali alayhi salam says, أَعْدَى عَدُوَّكْ نَفْسُكَ الَّتِي بَيْنَ جَنْبَيْكَ. Yes, if you have enemy, shaitan you have enemy, someone, I don't know, shayateen al-insi wal-jins, your enemy, business enemy, I don't know, country that is enemy with you, and etc. But the most dangerous thing that you have to fear, beware of, is your desires. أَعْدَى عَدُوَّكْ. And that's why Nahj al-Balagha, Imam Ali alayhi salam says, وَهَذِهِ نَفْسِي وَرَوَّضَهَا بِالتَّقْوَى. Even I try to behave myself, discipline myself, using taqwa, fearing God, using the fearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes if your nafs doesn't want to be tamed by you, okay, you have to express it. How? Make it fear. If someone brings you a very delicious cake, and you're very hungry, and you know beautiful colors and etc., you see the cake, beautiful, smells very well, and you're very hungry, you're starving, but somebody just tells you that there is a fatal poison in this cake. Would you eat that? No, because you fear death. So to be able to fasten your desires, you have to suppress it. And to be able to suppress it, you have to have the fear in your heart. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam has a narration, a beautiful narration. When he says, إِنَّ الْمُؤْمِنِ لَا يُصْبِحُ إِلَّا خَائِفًا وَلَا يُمْسِي إِلَّا خَائِفًا وَلَا يُصْلِحُهُ إِلَّا الْخَوْفِ. It's because of the cameras out there and police officers that you drive within the law. Otherwise, you will step on it. It's because of the cameras. And police patrolling streets. This is the nature of human beings, you know. Outside and within. You have to put the fear in your heart. La yusbuhu. You have to fear. When you wake up and you want to sleep and nothing can behave you. Nothing. This is Imam al-Sadiq, it's not me. Nothing can behave you, discipline you, but fear. Fear Allah, fear for hellfire. Fear sometimes for reputation, that's okay. But you have to fear. And to know the right direction. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari was the most important or fatal problem or mistake of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari. Of course, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari was a coward guy. A coward guy, yeah. He used to fear cats. A coward guy. He used to say, listen, wars is bad. What do you mean wars is bad? They are attacking us. Should we sit back in our homes? Just imagine Daesh attacked Iraq and attacked Islamic countries. Should we sit back? Because they say La ilaha illallah, they have La ilaha illallah on the flags? No. Of course we have to fight back. Of course we have to protect ourselves. La la la, haqnu dima. What do you mean haqnu dima? They are killing. They are already killing innocent people. Muawiyah was already killing innocent people. When Sufyan comes, he will be already killing innocent people. It's inappropriate for anyone to stand up and say that, listen, mate, this is a Muslim guy, he says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. As Saddam said, as his last word, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah. Do you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive him? Of course not. Of course not. So look at the compass that Imam Ali alayhi salam is talking about, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in your heart, and it's wisdom, and the compass says that whatever your desires wants you to do the opposite. Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes you have to tame yourself, behave yourself. You know how? Even if you want to eat a sandwich, don't eat it. If you really want to eat it, don't do it. If you really want to go to Krispy Kreme, I don't know, donuts, and eat, you want to do it, okay? Don't do it. I really want to drink Pepsi. Don't drink that Pepsi. Yes, you can drink Pepsi. Nothing wrong with eating Krispy Kreme or Pepsi or any camel sandwich, whatever. The problem is when your nafs is dragging you, just hold yourself. Hold it. Because if you listen to it, this time is okay. But next time, it will drag you to the valley. It will kill you. It will be a fatal fallout. We all ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, Imam Ali alayhi salam has too much to teach us. And I wanted to talk about two parts. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't have time. We're running out of time. نعتذر من سماحة السيد أخذنا من وقته الشريف. I really apologize for His Eminence. But we ask Allah, oh Allah, for the sake of the Commander of the Faithfuls, who disciplined himself, behaved himself, give us the power under His name, His sacred name, the name of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Give us the power, the strength to hold our desires back, to fasten our desires and to follow the right path of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the commander of the faithfuls. هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين وخير الصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله الطاهرين.